last few years, weight loss medications have changed dramatically. A few years ago, losing 5 to 8% of body weight with medications was considered a big success. Then medications like semaglutide came along. People started losing 15% of their body weight. Then tirzepatide appeared, and suddenly people were losing 20% or more of their body weight. But now there's a new medication being studied that might even be more powerful. It's called Retatrutide. And some researchers are already calling it the king of weight loss medications. But is it really that powerful? And more importantly, is it safe? Today, I'll talk about how weight loss medications have evolved, what Retatrutide actually is, how it works in the body, what the clinical trials show, possible side effects of Retatrutide, when it might become available, and what people often misunderstand about it. Because while the results are exciting, there's a lot people should understand before starting or considering any weight loss medication, especially when we talk about these powerful medications leading to 15 to 22% of body weight loss. Let's start with a little perspective. For many years, weight loss medications were modest at best. Older medications like orlistat, phentermine, bupropion naltrexone combination called Contrave or Qsymia typically produced 5 to 7% of body weight loss. That 5 to 7% weight loss helped some patients, but results were often limited. Then a new class of medications emerged. These medications work by mimicking hormone produced in the gut, hormones that communicate with the brain to regulate appetite. One of the most important of these hormones is GLP-1 or glucagon-like peptide 1. Medications that mimic GLP-1 began producing much better results. Examples of GLP-1 medications include semaglutide, which is the active ingredient for Wegovy and Ozempic. But researchers started asking a very interesting question. What if we could combine multiple metabolic hormones in one medication? And then came a dual agonist or GLP-1 GIP receptor medication called tirzepatide, which is the active ingredient for Zepbound and Mounjaro. And then came the triple agonist medication called Retatrutide. So what is Retatrutide? Retatrutide is an investigational medication currently being studied for obesity and metabolic disease. It's sometimes called a triple agonist medication. That means it activates 3 important metabolic pathways at the same time. These are GLP-1 receptors, GIP receptors, and glucagon receptors. Each of these hormones affect metabolism in different ways. GLP-1 helps reduce appetite and slows stomach emptying. GIP improves insulin response and metabolic regulation. And glucagon increases energy expenditure and fat metabolism. When these signals are combined, the body receives a powerful metabolic message: eat less, burn more energy, and improve metabolic health. And this combination may explain the dramatic results seen in clinical trials. So what do clinical trials for Retatrutide show? One of the most widely discussed studies is a phase 2 TRIUMPH clinical trial published in the New England Journal of Medicine. Participants with obesity received different doses of Retatrutide over about 48 weeks. The results were remarkable. Some participants lost over 20% of their body weight. In higher dose groups, average weight loss approached 24%. To put that into perspective, this is approaching the level of weight loss seen with bariatric surgery. And researchers also observed improvement in blood sugar control, insulin sensitivity, liver fat reduction, and reduction in cardiovascular risk factors. So why is this medication so powerful? One reason why Retatrutide may work so well is glucagon pathway. Glucagon is often thought of the opposite of insulin. It can increase energy expenditure and stimulate fat metabolism. So instead of only reducing appetite, Retatrutide may also help the body burn more calories. This combination of reduced hunger, improved metabolism, and increased energy expenditure may explain the impressive weight loss results of retatrutide. So what are possible retatrutide side effects? Like other medications in GLP-1 class, retatrutide may cause gastrointestinal side effects. These can include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, constipation, bloating, acid reflux. These side effects are common with medications that affect appetite and digestion. In most studies, these side effects were mild to moderate and improved over time. However, because retatrutide also activates glucagon pathway, researchers are carefully monitoring potential metabolic effects. That's one reason larger phase 3 trials are still ongoing. When could retatrutide be approved? Retatrutide is still in clinical development. Large phase 3 trials are currently underway. If those trials confirm safety and effectiveness, the medication could potentially be approved by end of 2026 or 2027. Any new medication development takes time. Regulatory agencies like FDA require extensive safety data before approval. So while the early results are exciting, this medication still needs to get FDA approval. What people often misunderstand about powerful weight loss medications is whenever a new weight loss medication appears, there's a lot of excitement and sometimes unrealistic expectations. Medications like retatrutide are powerful tools, but they are not magic. They work best when combined with healthy nutrition, physical activity, and long-term lifestyle changes. Weight regulation is itself influenced by so many factors like sleep, stress, metabolic health, and muscle mass. Medications help regulate appetite signals, but they are only part of the bigger picture. What are practical things to know about retatrutide? If you're hearing about retatrutide for the first time, here are a few key points. First, it's still an investigational medication. It's not yet available outside research studies. So if you are seeing ads to buy retatrutide, please don't fall for those. Second, medications like this are usually intended for people with obesity, weight-related metabolic disease, and significant health risk factors. These are not usually meant for cosmetic weight loss tools. Thirdly, long-term treatment strategies are very important before starting any weight loss medication, as losing weight is only one part of the story. You also need to have a clear strategy of how best to maintain weight once weight loss occurs. Let me know in the comments if you have heard about retatrutide before watching this video, or was this the first time you heard about it? Also, let me know in comments if you have taken retatrutide as part of the clinical trial and what was your experience. We are entering a fascinating time in obesity medicine. For many years, obesity was misunderstood as simply a willpower problem. But modern science shows it's a complex condition involving hormones, brain signaling, metabolism, and genetics. New medications like retatrutide are helping correct some of those biological signals, and that's why they can be so effective. But they also remind us that weight regulation is far more complex than just counting calories. So, is retatrutide really the king of weight loss medications? It might be one of the most powerful treatments we have seen so far. But we still need more research before knowing exactly how it fits into long-term obesity care. Because choosing the right treatment is not one size fits all. If you are interested in learning more about metabolism, weight loss, and the science behind these treatments, subscribe and hit that notification bell. And please share this information with a family member or a friend who will benefit from this. Stay happy, healthy, and well, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.